everybody, and good morning to you. How are you? So I'm waking up this morning. I was having my cup of coffee, and I checked on Twitter to see if there were any Twitter peeps that I should be aware of, and there was some stuff. And that's exactly why I'm making this video. It won't take too terribly long. This is not going to be a long video. The tweets and the video have to do with one specific thing. A supposed email that Foodie allegedly sent Natter, which he revealed in a stream that he did last night, saying that she wanted to talk to him and give it another chance. And don't worry, Girl World has already dissected that email and determined it to be fake. That's right. It's a fake email. And more than likely, it was written by Dee. And you guys are going to see different stuff on Twitter, why people think it's a fake. Also, and I have to agree with French Fry Girl because she did a tweet also pointing this out. And after thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? You're right. The fake email that was shown in his stream last night, which has made its way to Twitter, more than likely it is bait to get people to react to him so he can throw some more privacy strikes. Natter has been going absolutely crazy, going after anybody and everybody that reacts to him. So it very well may be bait to get people to make reaction videos to his stuff. And it's not going to work, Natter. It's just not going to work. The email was fake. The punctuation was on point with the way that Dee writes stuff out. So more than likely it was her, which begs the question. Natter, Dee, the two of you idiots supposedly hate Chantal. You want nothing to do with her. And yet you go out of your way to make a fake email to do what exactly? To get her to rage at you so that you get extra views on your channel, maybe some extra money. I know the views have been lacking lately. You barely get anybody in chat. But you're, poking at Foodie to get her to rage or say something? And at the same time throw strikes? Speaking of which, I've got a question about that. So, NADS, what is the purpose of all the privacy strikes and the privacy complaints? Like, what exactly do you get out of it? There's no monetary gain. You just, delight in being a pain in the butt to Girl World? Here's the thing. Nobody in Girl World likes you, Nads, and nobody wants to react to you. And so we're not gonna. And if we have anything to say about anything you're doing, we're not going to react to your live directly or show your face or even show your voice. We understand that you don't want yourself seen, but it's just all this trouble for what? Baiting people for what exactly? Like, what is the point? What is the end goal here? Don't know. But I would like to show you guys the stuff on Twitter, because I've got my thoughts that I would like to add to all of this stuff. And I invite the court of public opinion, my subscribers, voice your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings, and you guys can sound off on all this nonsense. So I'll tell you what, you guys know what time it is. It is time for the Twitter peeps. All right, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. And let me bring up Twitter and I'll show you guys the emails in question. And yeah, I will agree with a lot of people in Girl World. They looked weird. They looked suspicious. And when you think about Chantal's got dirty ways, but so does NADS. And Chantal is aware of NADS' dirty ways. And if she reached out to NADS, I seriously doubt she would do it through something that was a paper trail that she could get exposed for. if she reached out to him, it's going to be something where there's no paper trail, like say a phone call or a voicemail or something that he can less likely put on the internet. So that's another thing that's making me raise my eyebrow over this whole email business. So for those of you that are on Twitter, that you would like to follow me on Twitter, here's my handle, Wild Girl Sarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, that's why I do the Twitter peeps. Keep y'all up to date on what's going on the Bird app without you guys actually having to be there. All right. So this is an older clip, courtesy of Mary Beth Wiley and Perfectly Imperfect. So Chantal, in one of her latest live streams, was talking about how wrong doxing was, even though she's done plenty herself. And she's had people in her crew that doxed on her behalf. But here's an older clip of Chantal when she was back at the Canadian villa, and she was absolutely delighted when Dee Dee's work got doxed and she lost her job. So Perfectly Imperfect says, remember when Foodie Beauty doxed Dee Dee's job and Dee Dee was fired and she made fun of her for it? So let's watch the clip.
Don't you have a job, Dee Dee? What happened to your job? What happened to your job? What happened to your job? You still love it the most? You lost your job. Loser.
Only Foodie would laugh of somebody losing their job, losing their income. Only she would think that was funny. So it seems Chantal likes doxing, and she likes the damage that it causes other people's lives. So all of that nonsense, that horse crap of doxing is wrong and nobody should do it. Remember, Chantal, you did it too, and you did plenty of it. All right, something not Chantal related, and yet still Chantal related. Malarkey Meter says, Paul's Kuwait posted an updated video of Bruce and the family. So here's the video. Looks like the family is doing well. Bruce is doing well. Mom's doing well. They look clean and well cared for and well fed. Awesome. I'm confused though. Didn't Paul's Kuwait say that the family was being prepared to be adopted in the States? Or is this part of the process where they have to quarantine them and make sure that they're healthy and ready to travel before they travel? In any case, Bruce and family look good. So that makes me happy. Mrs. Flupa Booty says she didn't care that people knew the villa's location. She didn't move out because of that. She didn't care that the seaside fart box was well known either. So why does she care now? Makes you wonder. And you're right about that, Mrs. Flupa Booty. When she was in Canada, she didn't care that people knew where she lived. As a matter of fact, she passed out her address so that the Beezers could send stuff to her house through Amazon. And then when she was at the Oceanside Villa in Kuwait, she still didn't care. People knew about her address for the longest, and she wasn't moving out immediately. So why is it a big deal for her to be in an apartment in Canada and suddenly she's got to go? I don't like it there, and people know where I am. Why is it a big deal? Why is it a big deal now? All right, Perfectly Imperfect says it's true. Dee Dee has very specific punctuation. The emails match her punctuation. If you're going to fake these emails, at least be aware of your telltale marks. So this is a post that Dee Dee did on her channel. And yeah, she's got very specific telltale signs when she writes something, particularly when she ends a sentence. The way she ends her sentences, there's like a lot of space between the periods. And there's a lot of that in the fake email. So you kind of told on yourself, Dee Dee, writing the email and trying to act like Chantal. But again, I'm going to say it again. My question is why? Why are you and Natter poking at Foodie? Is it because you want her to react to you? You want her to react in general? You want her to go crazy? You want her to say something about the two of you so you guys can say something on NADS channel and the views might go up and the interest might go up? Even if people are interested, nobody is going to react to him because of his history of going after the react channels. No one is going to touch him with a 20-foot pole and have to deal with the headache of the privacy complaints and the privacy strikes and all that garbage. 140 complaints before. No one is going to react to him. No one. They may talk about it in their own way on their channel here and there, but I don't know why you guys are working so hard trying to get the attention of the reaction channels. And again, I don't understand the end game of why you would be baiting people. Like, maybe you might feel good causing problems for the channels, but there's going to be no monetary gain. So why do all that? Why waste all that effort? Like, what are you getting out of it? Unless maybe you are talking to Chantal and she's feeling especially petty and especially angry about how her life is going. And once more, Chantal might be using NADS as her cat's paw to cause problems with channels. See, she doesn't want to do it herself. She's going to use somebody else to do the dirty work. So did they talk? And she said, poke at the reaction channels and see if you can't throw some strikes for me. I don't want to throw the strikes. I can't afford to have anything bad on my channel, but you cause problems for me and see if you can't take a few of them out before I come back and start doing streaming. Maybe that's it. Maybe she's talking to him and saying, throw the bait out there and see who bites the bait. And when somebody bites the bait, throw a strike at them, cause some problems. Maybe they'll be offline for a couple of weeks. Like, she's petty and stupid. She's going to try to cause problems in any way she can. All right. Reality Check says commentary account. Dee Dee wrote this. She always adds spaces between the end of a word and the punctuation. Dee Dee also uses the old-fashioned double space after a period. And Chantal has never typed like that. No one does anymore. So you guys want to see part of the message from Foodie? This is the alleged message saying, I don't know what to say or how to say it. I know this sounds stupid, but keep this to yourself, please. I am no longer with Salah. It's complicated. Don't be a butthole. I miss you, and I guess I always did. Love you. Being back and alone just reminds me too much of you. Yeah, that's definitely a tell. Like, Chantal doesn't write like this. She doesn't put the extra space between the punctuation and the next letter. That is something that Dee Dee would do. So Dee Dee kind of told on herself that it was her writing that email. And do I think it's pathetic? Yeah, I think it's really pathetic. When NADS has a channel and all the boosting that Chantal did to his channel, telling the Beezers about it, promoting him, he got a whole bunch of subscribers. And you would think after she's gone that he would be able to sustain that and make his channel grow. But his channel really hasn't grown. Ever since she stepped out of the room, his views have been lacking, his money has been lacking, and this just feels like a pathetic attempt to get some extra attention. Let's see. Moving on. The Angry Scott says, yeah, I mean, Foodie is dumb and desperate, but even I struggle to believe that she is this dumb and desperate. Plus, is Nads actually believes it's Foodie? Why would he string her along a little to get more info from her before any communication by going public? Good question. I would think that Nads, before exposing her, he'd want to play with her a little, meaning she just got paid. She just had her YouTube payday. She's got money in pocket. Why not milk the cow a little before you expose the cow? You know, play nice. Get what he can out of her. Maybe get some extra groceries or get some bills paid before he puts her on blast and makes her angry. See, that part don't make sense. Nads is a scammer. He's a con artist too. And before they straight up expose somebody, and put them on blast. They're going to try to get what they can out of them first. And I don't know. I don't know. And again, like the paper trail, Chantal, I don't think she'd leave a paper trail with Natter. One moment. My apologies. Let's keep going. Perfectly Imperfect says trying to figure who's telling the truth about that email from Foodie Beauty is like asking which one of the two clowns lit the circus on fire. The one's holding the matches, the other's holding gasoline, and both are blaming the audience. You know, I will say this about Foodie. Her last live stream, she looked especially happy, which is odd considering she's got to move out of the apartment in 6 days. I guess that's the agreement between her and the landlord, that to vacate at the end of the month. So she doesn't have long to find another place to live. She might already have more than one option, more than one place to go, and she might be deciding on her next move. But she was looking especially smarmy, smug, happy about something. And previous experience, I've only ever seen her look that way when she's talked to NADS. I've never seen that level of happiness out of her unless she's talked to NADS. So I'm guessing that they had some kind of communication, and maybe she's got something up her sleeve and she's just waiting for the right time to tell us. Okay, let's see if I can get like a good version of that email. Okay, Punch Cat says XP is XP, bro. The final boss has too much HP. That's funny. That's really funny. Dude, you're fighting a level 100 boss with a level 1 weapon. What are you thinking? You're not going to do much damage. I'm your Huckleberry says, all right, pretty sure it's fake, but I'm going to be funny to watch her respond. I'm your Huckleberry also says, dang, so hold up. I don't think Natter faked it, but someone did. Foodie Beauty's email is the bottom one. This one swapped an uppercase for the lowercase L. So the bottom one is Foodie, big, beautiful me. Okay. So this is hers, and this is the alleged fake. See, here's where I'm getting kind of stuck. Do I think that the email is fake? Yeah, I do. It's just too convenient, too quick. Too quick. I do think it's fake. But here's where I got stuck earlier before I concluded that it was fake. We know Foodie as someone that she, in the past, has made tons of sock accounts everywhere, on Twitter, on YouTube. We all know about the many fake accounts that she was making on Facebook to sneak around and talk to NADS, Maria Pondu, Krista Bazillion, like all of them. Like she was just making up all kinds of profiles and names to talk to him. So why wouldn't she make up another email and have like two of the same? Why wouldn't she do that? See, like there's so many variables here. Is it her or is it somebody else? If it weren't for the fact that people have pointed out the punctuation that looks very similar to Dee Dee's, I would think this might be another Foodie sock account. Like she's sending emails on a different email account than her original. So much trouble spent to fake an email for what? For monetary gain through strikes of people? I don't know. All right. Lily says, green is the original, red is manufactured. Nice job. I can't see that word. I'll get in trouble with YouTube. I'm literally known within girl world and just a viewer watching the madness. This based on my own professional knowledge working in tech and my own personal opinion. Yeah, this looks kind of fake. This looks kind of fake. Foodie does not like paper trails. I'm your Huckleberry says, dang, so hold up. I don't think Natter faked it, but somebody did. Foodie Beauty's email is the bottom one. This one swapped. We already read that. You can plug it into your Gmail and see the brown icon matches the emails Nada received. Well, what's to stop Dee Dee from making up a fake email and sending it to Nada's account just to add validity? Okay, those are backwards. Fondue Spider Beach says Foodie Beauty dishwasher is the love of her life. What's so unbelievable about her emailing him? Salah's been gone and it was transactional. We didn't have Kuwait Fugitive or Dishwasher Season 2 on the bingo cards, but here we are. Look, I'm going to say right now, if something happens and he is brought back into the fold, God help us, how are we going to react to him if he's in her streams? How are we going to do this? I mean, the guy has made himself unreactable. Not that anybody wants to, but considering all the privacy strikes and all that, if she includes him in with her content, how in the world are we going to react to her if he's included and he's so sensitive about his image and his voice and blah, blah, blah? It'll be impossible. It will virtually be impossible because he's so hyper about people even showing his face. So I hope he doesn't come back around. I hope that there's no crackhead Olympics, because even if there is, he's not going to be able to benefit the way that I'm sure he would like to, just because of his past actions with all of the React and clip channels. Soda and Sadness says everyone says she left to make Nosferatu jealous. That if he had said stay, she would have stayed, and people think those feelings magically stop because of salad. I bet a month until she contacted him, and counting the 2 weeks she was not online, I win. This is hilarious. Well, I've been saying it. A lot of other people have said it too. Whatever she had going on with Salah, it was transactional. It was a business working relationship. The business did not work. It was not beneficial for either of them. She got her feelings all caught up in it though, but she was forced to leave Kuwait. She left, and now she's spinning her wheels because she doesn't know what to do. And knowing Foodie, she has to have a man around at all times, y'all. She does. Like, she looks towards men to feel worthy. She looks towards men for validation. She likes to be able to say, where's your boyfriend? Where's your husband? Nye, 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 nye. She wants the power to do that. And she doesn't know how to function by herself. Although if NADS decides to get involved with her, he needs to understand how unhinged she is. Even if he wants her money, she doesn't have very much, but her money comes with a whole lot of crazy. And I don't think he wants that whole lot of crazy because the money she's got is not worth it. Do I think that he might try things again with her? I don't think he will, because there's nothing about her that is attractive. And I mean nothing. Before, he could justify being around Chantal because she had a lot of money. And he could look at the money and say to himself, well, this is the reason I'm hanging out with her. This is the reason why I'm tolerating her, because I'm getting well paid. But if she doesn't have much money in pocket, and if she is between homes, that is very unattractive to him. And he's going to look at the situation and her and say, it's not worth it. The compensation is not worth dealing with all of her crazy, and she's unhinged, and I might be inviting a whole lot of trouble into my life that I don't want to deal with, and the money just wouldn't be worth it. It just wouldn't. So I don't know if she's talking to him. I don't know what's going on, but Chantal, if you got any ideas in your head about talking to him, hanging out with him, blah, 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 you're going to be very, very angry when you don't get what you want. All right, so let's talk about the email, like the whole email. Sandy's What's a Visa Run Quesadilla says, what in the fresh heck is this? Tell me this is fake. We don't want that degenerate back in our stories. So here's the email. Here's the fake email. Dated June 25th, 2025, saying, hi, I don't know what to say or how to say it. I know this sounds stupid, but keep this to yourself, please. I am no longer with Salah. It's complicated. Don't be a jerk. I miss you, and I guess I always did. Love you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, at first I was shocked to see this email on Twitter this morning, but the more I looked at it and the more people were pointing out the inconsistencies, the fact that it looked like Dee Dee typed it versus Chantal, just thinking about all the things that people are saying, I agree with Frenchie. This is straight bait for the reaction channels, for the clip channels, for the archive channels. Anybody that reacts to him on his channel and shows his face or his voice or whatnot, he's just throwing out the bait to see who's going to bite. And then he's going to throw out the strikes. And he might be doing it either on his behalf or on Foodie's, because right now she's feeling rather salty, rather petty. She wants to make trouble for everybody. She's mad AF because she's between places. There's no stability in her life. So in order to feel good, she might be just trying to cause problems for people, but she's not going to risk her own channel. She's not going to risk a strike herself. Sandy, What's a Visa Run Quesadilla says, you know what strikes me? Foodie screeched and shouted and cried for 6 months about a crackhead that she dated for a week. But she's been incredibly chill about being permanently separated from her husband. It's almost as though the whole thing was fake. Yeah. Like she cried much more over NADS than she ever did over Salah. Much more. Like if Nader didn't talk to her for a couple of days, she'd fall apart. But she's been away from Salah for how long? Him and Julia. And she's fine, right? She's fine. I miss them so much, but where are the tears? I would think that you'd be heartbroken and crying your eyes out, Foodie. Perfectly Imperfect says the crackheads went live through the midnight hours doing what crackheads do, I guess. Saying Foodie Beauty emailed him, showed this as proof. It says, I am no longer with Salah. It's complicated. Don't be a jerk. I miss you, and I guess I always did love you. Being back and all alone just reminds me too much of you. I know you have Dee Dee now, but would like to talk with you. Just talk. So this may be a far-fetched theory. It's okay. We're allowed to speculate over here. I don't have any receipts. This is just speculation. And I know Foodie hates it, and I don't care what she thinks. What if, on top of Dee Dee and Nader wanting attention, on top of them wanting to kind of still attach themselves to Chantal, hoping that will lead to a few extra views and subscribers and attention for the channel. What if, perhaps, knowing that Chantal is back in Canada, knowing how unhinged she is, this could be a way for Nader to put the bat signal out there for Foodie that he's not interested in hanging out with her. If she's got any ideas in her head about the two of them hanging out together or partying together, he's not interested. In essence, he's trying to put his arm out and keep the crazy away from him because he knows if she comes close, the crazy comes with her. Just a theory. I could be wrong. It's okay if I'm wrong. It's just a thought in my head and I want to share it with you guys. I'm just maybe looking for the reasons about why they did this. There could be multiple reasons. There could be one reason. I guess we'll find out in time, won't we? Let's see. What else we got here? And this was the reply that Nader gave to Chantal. Nader puts, you know, I am not single and I'm very happy with Dee Dee. I knew one day it would happen. So there's a message there. He's with Dee Dee. He's happy with Dee Dee. He ain't going nowhere. Is that her email or is that his? I'm looking for his reply. I don't really care what she has to say. I already covered that. And remember what I said, that Chantal might try to move in with Pete's? Well, isn't it funny that when Chantal's in need, she's all over Pete's, as evidenced by Day-to-Day Ray. Because when Foodie was over in Kuwait, she really wasn't in Pete's chat too much. Now that she's back in Canada and she's a woman in need, she was all in his chat. What's that old saying? A friend in need is a friend indeed. Well, I guess she's a friend indeed right now. So like she was all in Pete's chat talking to people, which is something she doesn't do very often, very, very rare. So is she trying to latch on to Pete's for a place to stay? I wonder. Okay, so that's it for all this stuff on Twitter. I just want to keep you guys up to date. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this whole crazy situation of an email that just all of a sudden pops up from Chantal to NADS, that it took Twitter all of like 5 minutes to pick apart and determine that it's fake. But why would Nader do this? Is he looking for attention? Is he looking for some extra money? Is he looking to get a reaction out of her? Is it to bait the channels? I don't know. You guys can fire off in the comments and let me know. I want to hear from you. Like, I'm putting this to the round table. Anybody can say anything. I want to hear what you guys think. All right, so that's it for the Twitter Peeps React. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.